Yo, what's up with y'all players, man? I want to welcome everybody into the high frequency fraternity. It's the Professor SG to P. The P stand for the professor, the possessor, the proprietor, and the playmaker. Okay. As always, I want to teach y'all all a lesson on what it means to be a P.I.M.P, a player in motion for progress, right? Today's subject is going to be what it means to be a P.I.M.P. Before we begin, I would like to invite everyone to donate to my Cash App. The link will be down below. Okay, so like I said, let me fix this real quick. Today's subject is what it means to be a pimp, a player in motion for progress. I need you to dig this, right? A player in motion for progress is somebody that can't look back. Somebody that looks for self-betterment, permanent betterment within themselves, right? A player in motion for progress is one that doesn't care what its environment is, doesn't care who is around, doesn't care what his ego thinks, but only cares what his soul thinks. That is what it means to be a player in motion for progress. And now I want to give you guys some examples on how you can become a P.I.M.P, because one thing you must understand, and one other thing, a side note before I say what you must understand, you must listen to understand in this fraternity, in life. This is game college. I get all my game from Ken Ivy, Professor Ken, CEO of Hip Hop Fraternity, right? Now, what it means to be a pimp. Here's an example. Me, I consider myself a pimp, a player in motion for progress. Okay, I don't look back, because looking in the past will only cause depression. Looking in the future has a high possibility of creating a bunch of anxiety, unwanted anxiety. In order to be a player in motion for progress, you must put yourself in motion. In order to put yourself in motion, you have to center yourself here in the now. The now is what matters. The now can dictate the past. The now is the past. The now is the future. The now is the present. The best time to start being a pimp is now, or your next second. Every time you think about it, that is your best opportunity to become the pimp, the player in motion for progress. Now here's an example like I promised. Me, I look in the world and, I done went through a lot of things spiritually and mentally and internally within myself. I haven't always been this way. Being a pimp, it has to be in you and not on you. And now a lot of you people may not get the opportunity to become a real pimp, a real player in motion for progress, right? That has to be within you. You have to have this in you already. You have to have that mindset in you where you can understand what I'm talking about. Because I could be speaking to you, but you may not understand what I'm saying. And if that's the case, you could leave the high frequency fraternity. We vibrate at high frequencies and we do what we want to do. And we do what makes us happy, because that's what matters. Right. So, I haven't always been this way. See, how I used to be, and mind you, this is an example on how I wasn't a player in motion for progress previously, right? How I wasn't a player in motion for progress is I was worried about what I was going to be doing in the future, right? I was already over worrying about the past, because I've always known that the past doesn't concern me, because I am better now. And if you're not taking the opportunity to better yourself now and disassociate from your past self, if you don't like your past self, then you're doing yourself a major disservice. It's not healthy. And you need to fix that in order to vibrate at the high frequency, right? So like I was saying, I haven't always been this way. And I was looking in the future. I was worried about what could I do? And I would always come up with things. And I guess you can consider that a player in motion for progress. But a player in motion for progress, like I said, remember, it's the now. In order to be in motion, you must be in the now. You can't worry about the future. You can't worry about the past. When I was worried about, what college am I gonna go to? What is gonna happen on this test? I wonder how me and her relationship is gonna go. I wonder where I'll be in the next month, year, say whatever, right? And a lot of these things are natural things to think about because we live on the spectrum of time, right? And we have no control over that. That's why we worry about it, right? But in order to be a pimp, you must live in the now. The difference now compared to then is I found my answers by living in the present. Sometimes, in order to do what I'm doing now, you have to do this. And what this does, it clears your mind and recenters yourself if you have that intention to center yourself. You can do this. You can breathe. Breathing is a great one, right? And these are ways to put yourself in motion for progress. Breathing can give you ideas. When you go into that blank canvas in your mind, right? Or when you go into that blank canvas in your mind and solve out your problems that you already have, center yourself in the present and say, it's okay. And realize that all negative situations lead to a positive one because life is a wavelength, right? You understand what it means to be a pimp, right? So, what I hope you guys learned in today's commandment, today's divine, divine rule. I hope you understand what it means to be a pimp and that being a pimp means to live in the now, right? And not to worry about the past or the present because you are in the present. And if you do worry about the past, you shouldn't have to worry about it because your present self realized this is not the time to make any mistakes. This is the time to be my best self. This is time to feel my home frequency and feel who I really am. That's what you must understand, okay? Do not look into the past because it will cause depression. Do not look into the future because it will cause anxiety. If you look into the future, understand that you cannot control that yet. You cannot control the future yet. You can control what you do to get there. Have the idea, but do not worry, because as long as that is what you want to do, you can make it happen by living in the now. Think of what steps you must do to get to where you want to be. Okay? All right. This is Professor SG to P. Thank you all for coming to class today. And like I said, Cash App is down in the description. Feel free to donate. Game is sold, not told. Thank you, players.